this.
Main problem with him was they dropped this mixtape on 1017 and tried to like ride my wave, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like, you know, for an artist to drop their mixtape on 1017, you know what I'm saying? Which is my label on the day that I drop all my label mates drop their mixtape on 1017. Why would you drop it if you ain't on 1017? And when I call you as my partner to ask you why you did, you say, oh, I didn't know you were dropping the mixtape.
Everyone, and that's what's got him a lot of followers. His fans left a couple of comments in support. Gucci Mane, the realest. Now this was the real Gucci. To let everyone know that they weren't on good terms any longer, Gucci Mane also made a diss track where he called Gotti out. On his track, Birds of a Feather, Gucci splits lyrics saying, I f with Rocco cause he's a hustling mother. You know I f with Flocka cause he's a crazy mother. You know I f with Scooter, he's a robbing mother. I used to f with Gotti till he turned into a buster. And if you thought Gotti was gonna let it slide, well, Yo Gotti has something to say as well. Yo Gotti learned about what Gucci had said about the diss track, and the info reached Gotti via text that come from none other than the associates of Gucci Mane. Gotti said that some of the guys who moved with Gucci were cool with him at the time. Thanks to those associates, Gotti even knew that Gucci Mane was in the studio recording the diss song before it was released. Then Yo Gotti went on to do an interview with DJ Devin Steele at K97 FM. He said a couple of things on that occasion.
It's a funny situation because first of all, like I do my music and I don't keep up with what other people doing. For one, I ain't checking to see when you drop. And it came down to me and homie were dropping on the same day. I didn't know in the beginning. Right. You know what I'm saying? But once I found out, because he's supposed to be my homeboy, you know what I'm saying? I hit his phone immediately because I'm thinking like, oh man, we gonna shut the, he ain't hit me back, he ain't answer.
Gotti didn't stop there. He said that he was actually disappointed that something like this came from a person who he considered not only a music partner, but a brother.
I'm more disappointed than anything, really, like, you know, because you mentioned the diss record. I heard about the record last night. I ain't heard it yet, but I heard about the record last night. Nobody understand why he doing it. Right. I'm more disappointed in him than anything because I looked at him different. What I perceived of him is not what he playing out. I thought you was a straight up stand-up guy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Street type dude, and street dudes don't handle business like that.
As you heard, Gotti claimed that he's got no time to browse all the new music coming out on the internet, nor was it in his interest to follow release dates. Regardless, after he found out Gucci was releasing on the same date, he did reach out to Gucci. That's when Gotti found out about the issue in the first place. He did Gucci wrong, and he finally knew about it. But Yo Gotti was feeling some way about the whole sitch too. Him saying that he was more disappointed than anything else kinda hits different. He was not expecting a diss track coming from a longtime partner. For Gotti, Gucci was no longer a straight-up, stand-up guy, and he took the title of his homeboy to the grave with that diss track. I gotta admit, the whole situation's pretty tricky. Both Gucci and Gotti made mistakes and weren't completely 100 with each other. The fact that they released music on the same day was just the surface of the whole problem. Then there's other reasons why the relationship between Gotti and Gucci came to a close. See, it's a known fact that between the two, they spent times with each other's ops. Gotti made tracks with Young Jeezy, T.I., rappers who Gucci dissed heavily. They dropped a remix of Gotti's song, I Got That Sack. And in case you ain't know it yet, Jeezy went as far as setting the Gucci up in an apartment of one of the Gucci's female friends. He was completely caught off guard by 5 guys and he barely made it out alive. And after you go through something like that, there's no way you'll just let it slide. Fans also found that to be a seriously disrespectful move from Gotti. One fan said, I mean, Gucci got a point. Jeezy tried to kill him and you do a song with him? That's backdoor movement. On the other hand, Gucci wasn't that thoughtful of what Gotti was going through either. Not only did he make several tracks with Young Dolph, Gotti's nemesis, but he also considered him one of his closest friends. It's alleged that Gotti was heavily involved in some of the hits that were made on Young Dolph, including the one that ultimately took his life. Some speculate that the beef between the two would have been squashed or perhaps not even come to life if Gucci didn't have health issues. The problem between Gucci and Gotti were probably kept alive for longer than they should have been because of the serious lean abuse that got the best of Gucci. Now, one time, Gucci even had a major rant where he dissed Jeezy, T.I., Eminem, Nicki Minaj, and of course, Yo Gotti. In the end, the relationship between Yo Gotti and Gucci Mane never really got to be the same.